Hi guys, so for years I've been saying that when it comes to Brexit you can listen to politicians or you can listen to experts. So over the last few days the chaos at the border in Dover has raised the question, are the delays down to the lack of staff or has it anything to do with Brexit? So I want to show you two clips. One is of a politician, Brexit Wonder Woman Liz Truss, and then we'll hear from an expert. Who do you think is telling the truth here?
Well, the fact is that the French authorities have not put enough people on the border. And I'm in touch with the French authorities. I'm very clear that we need to see action from them to resolve the terrible situation that people are facing.
Do they not need more people there because of having to control things post-Brexit? Is this not a situation that's been caused ultimately by leaving the European Union?
This is a situation that has been caused by a lack of resource at the border. And that is what the French authorities need to address, and that is what I am being very clear with them about.
Now, of course, not answering the question here, is this down to Brexit? She started talking about staff levels. And this is typical of Liz Truss and the Brexiteers. They will dodge the question. They will answer a different question. And in a sense, this is pretty much like lying. But let's hear from the expert about what's happening at Dover.
I've been out to the end there to where you've got actually all the border check places are being fully staffed. Now, in the olden days, when I turned up in my car, I'd just wave a passport, a handful of passports, and I'd be waved through. Sometimes, if it was really busy, they just wave all the cars through. They cannot do that anymore because this is an external frontier of the European Union. So every French border official has to say, right, we've got to check your passport. Theoretically, they're supposed to make sure you haven't stayed more than 90 days in 180, whether you've got a return ticket, accommodation, money. But at the very least, they've got to get your passport and stamp it. And I've been timing things, actually. A couple of people in the car, about 45 seconds. If you've got a family of 4, that's a minute and a half compared with just a few seconds earlier. And therefore, the queues are just going to build up simply because however many people you've got, you simply haven't got the space here at Dover to get through all those checks.
And there you have it. We heard from the politician and we heard from the expert, and the expert talking about how long it takes to check one individual and then to check a family in a car. And even if you have the full amount of staff, it's still not going to make that much of a difference because of the infrastructure there at Dover. Now, I covered this before. There was a story back in 2020, late 2020, where there was a request to extend the number of booths, passport booths at Dover. It would have cost £33 million and it was rejected by Boris Johnson's government. The Brexiteer government said, no, we don't want to increase the number of booths at Dover. Why? Well, because it would make people think, well, why are we spending money on Brexit? Isn't Brexit a net benefit? So that was not support. That was rejected. Now, I don't know if any changes took place since then, but it demonstrates the mentality of, no, we don't want to invest money to fix the problems that Brexit is creating. In the same way, when it came to businesses that were struggling to export, the response from the Department of International Trade was, well, just set up in the EU. So sort the problem out yourself. And Dover has been told, and other ports around the UK have been told for years, sort out the problem yourself. So it's convenient, once again, to blame the EU or to blame France, blame French officials for not being there to carry out these checks. But as pointed out here by this expert, it wasn't the case years ago. What's changed is now that there is a frontier with the European Union, these checks have to be carried out. You can have as many staff as you want, but there's still going to be delays. Now, the delays are going to reduce over the next number of months when the traffic calms down. But during these peak periods, you're going to see these types of delays. This is a consequence of leaving the European Union. If the UK had remained in, you wouldn't be seeing this today. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.